So you're thinking about a HYROX, but somehow you just don't do it. I get that.
All my life, I had this voice in my head that kept me from doing stuff like this. Matter of fact, I can hear it right now.
So you're really gonna do that, huh?
Shut the up.
Stupid jokes aside, I'm obviously not an expert on HYROX. I mean, for one, I'm not running around shirtless. But what I am is a middle-aged dad who's got a pretty busy schedule, and admittedly I'm into fitness and bikes, but I also gotta balance it all with family and a day job. And I still managed to participate in 2 races recently with a friend of mine, and we had a ton of fun. So I figured if you can relate, this might be for you. So yeah.
Before we start, I will refer to some of these things as easy, but I don't mean physically easy, right? HYROX is a challenge. It's supposed to be. What I mean is don't buy into the whole hype that it's super complicated and you need to have the perfect training plan and take all the supplements and even have a coach or access to all of the equipment before you even have entered your first race. That's just not the case. And that's also my first tip. Don't worry too much. This tip is for all of you who are maybe in the same situation as a friend of mine was when I asked him, do you want to join me for a HYROX? Because he didn't have any clue what it is. He went to the official website, he looked at the promo videos, and he was completely put off because everyone in those videos is ripped and crushing every workout and literally sprinting all the time. And that is just not the reality. Because what you will actually see when you go to such a race are normal people. Just plain old normal people, some of them walking instead of running. Some of them, like myself, who haven't done like a sled push or a sled pull in their lives before, just going there to have fun. You will have, of course, those ripped and super fit people as well, but hey, everyone is focused on themselves completely. They mix up the starting groups in a manner that you do not know who you're running against anyway, so no one cares how you look, no one cares how fit you are, just go and have fun. So will I get lost? No. Next tip. Okay, let's be serious here for a second. These races are supposed to be comparable all over the world. That's why when you go there, what you will encounter is something like this. On the outside, what you have is the run course. And unsurprisingly, this is where you run your laps. And on the inside, you have the rock zone, I'll get to that in a minute, and you have the 8 workout stations, clearly numbered 1 through 8. So if you can count to 8, you will be fine. As for the rock zone, that is the area after you leave the run course and in between the workout areas. And this is where you get your water, where you contemplate your life choices, and you really ask yourself, how the f*** did some guy on the internet convince me to actually sign up for this? And usually people talk here about how you can lose a lot of time because you're walking instead of running, or how you shouldn't even go to the water stations because you should carry your own water. It's like, oh, fair enough, good tips. What I want to talk though about is slippery floors, because some people seem to mistake these water stations for a personal invite to have a mid-race shower, and that is why there is a lot of water on the floor, and even though they have rubber mats and they're cleaning up all the time, it's still very slippery. So that is my tip, be careful, it's slippery. So for the laps that you gotta run, some people actually manage not to run the correct number of laps. Now before you laugh, there are actually 2 reasons that might happen. So the first reason is a more technical one. Bear with me here. The second reason this might happen is actually fatigue, because believe me, in round number 7, when you're really gasping for air, you might not be so sure if you just did 2 laps or 3. It definitely felt like 3, but it might have been 2. So here, other people might tell you, look at your watch, and from the time you usually run a K in, maybe you can then see if you did 2 or 3. It's like, come on, advanced calculus, what the hell? Just count. You will get clear instructions how many laps to run. Just count them. You will be fine. And then there is the last little bit on the map that I want to talk about. That's the warm-up area. So in the warm-up area, of course, you go to warm up, well, obviously. But also they have all the exercises there. So if you have never done a, for example, sled push, sled pull, you can go there, check it out. You will realize it's not that difficult, but it'll give you a good feeling. You have done it before, so you can enter the race with a bit more confidence. So if you found this mildly entertaining or even helpful so far, would be really cool if you could share any comments to your bell icon and like your friends. Something like YouTube things. Do YouTube things. Okay, so before we now go to the exercises, quick tip if you're not sure if you're fit enough or not for this thing. I was in the same situation. I didn't know if I could complete this race on my own. So I asked a friend of mine, and I highly recommend you do the same. Do it as a doubles. It's such a lot of fun. Having someone with you during the race, yelling encouragement is so motivating. And, well, the obvious, while you have to do the running together, during the exercises you can actually switch. And that takes the edge off. It really makes the whole thing so much less daunting. And I can highly recommend you do that. And look, I realize it might be a bit difficult to find someone to join you for such a race. If only there was a way we could convince them, huh? I'm drawing a blank here. And now finally, the 8 exercises that you're going to face that day. All right. What I will give you now are some basic tips because, as I said before, I'm not a HYROX expert. There are enough people out there who claim to be, and some of them really are, and they can give you a lot of good tips on how to improve your time and how to shave off a second here or there or improve your technique or whatever it might be. I'm not that, definitely. But what I will give you are some basic tips to make you feel a bit more confident so you know what to expect on your first race. Here we go. So instead of running through all the exercises one by one and boring you to death, I figured I'm going to just group them very roughly into 3 categories and give you some basic idea of what to expect for each one of them. So category number 1. That is the one category where only one exercise exists. That's the one without any equipment. Burpee broad jumps. When you get there, you only choose a lane and off you go, right? Down, up, jump, repeat. Copy everyone else. If they are doing 2 passes, one there, one back, you do the same, and that's it. Just make sure that there is no one directly in front of you when you start, so you might not have to overtake if you're a bit quicker, but that's really it. And category number 2, those are the carries. So you got your farmer's carry and you got your sandbag lunge. In both cases, you need to carry something. In both cases, a little bit more brain work from you is required because you got to pick up the correct weight before you go and start the exercise. That's really it. So just read the instructions so you know which one to pick up. Then it's copy paste from the last tip. Choose a lane, start the exercise, copy everyone else. 1 pass, 2 passes, depends on the venue. You'll manage. And category number 3, for those of you who can count, that are all the other exercises that require a little bit more of an interaction with the judges, but it's tiny.
That's what she said.
So let's take wall balls as the first one. When you get there, there's a judge telling you this is your spot. You do the exercise. You don't have to count. They are doing it for you. So there's one judge just for you with a counter, and he or she is doing exactly that, just counting and shouting some encouragement. So they are very nice. And usually when you're at the last 10, they even count down from there because after that, it's over the finish line. Really, really cool. Then we have the 2 sled exercises, sled push and sled pull. Both cases, you will be assigned a sled lane. Again, by a judge, you go there, they are pointing at it. You take the rope or you just push that thing and off you go. Really that simple, nothing more to it. And you'll notice after you do 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass, 4 pass, they will tell you, you're done now, you can get out. So even there you don't have to count, but I'm pretty sure because you got enough time that you'll manage to count to 4. And then lastly, we got the rower and the ski erg. In both cases, you will just be assigned a exercise machine once you get there by a judge. They will also make sure that it's reset before you start. If the display is off, don't worry, just start, it'll turn on. And then you go until you reach 1,000 meters. By that time, someone will look over your shoulder and make sure that you reached 1,000, and they will say, yep, you can go now. And once you reach 1,000, you're out. And 3 final tips to round this whole thing off. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna be loud, and get there quite early. So hot, well, to be expected, right? It's indoors, everyone is sweating, so you don't need any warm clothes. Rather, you need a lot to drink. Loud, if you bring your kids like I did last time, have something to protect their ears. With the whole music and the crowds, it's really, really loud. And then get there quite early. Like I said, you might want to try out the exercises in the warm-up zone. Parking might not be ideal. There might be queues, so, you know, instead of getting there and being completely rushed, just get there a bit early, soak it all in, and that'll be it. And that's it for the tips. So what can you expect from this channel in the future? A little bit more of the same, to be honest. So I'll talk about fitness in general. I got a Spartan race coming up. I'll definitely do something with bikes and probably nutrition. I'll figure it out along the way. And will I be able to post something new every week and give you that fresh content you crave so much? No, because I do have a day job, and as you probably by now agree, I shouldn't quit that. And also my family keeps pestering me with this whole love and affection thing, so I'll stick with that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this thing will get buried by the algorithm and no one ever gets to see it. Except for my mom. Hi, Mom. But that's okay. You know, I'm doing this more for myself than anyone else. And on the off chance someone did actually see it and you liked it, comment down below. Would be really cool.
And look, obviously this is my first video, so be gentle, huh?
Oh yeah, again, I read that you have to say again, like, subscribe, bell icon, YouTube stuff. And what else? Catchy sign off, huh?